Hello everyone, it's once again time for Pixelated Therapy, and let's do some more of this. We talked about how this violated the ethical standards in the last episode. We're learning more about an AI that apparently is showing mental illness, so let's delve a little bit further.
Violate ethical standards? How?
Oh, good explanation. Closed hubs offer a potential topics that you know the choices you have left. So I've got three choices: concerns about doctor-patient confidentiality, AI's rights, competence boundaries, research concerns, integrity issues. So I do think, looking at this, there are a number of interesting choices, considering the fact that this is an AI and not an actual human being. Concerns about doctor-patient confidentiality. Let's start with that one. That basically teaches that only in specific circumstances am I to reveal to outside sources what's going on with a patient. Only in certain circumstances. Other than that, I'm not to go around and talking about this sort of thing. And if I'm dealing with an AI, would I have to share everything that's going on with the team that is working on or building this AI? Am I, going to have to discuss this since this is basically done for like a university? Do I have to reveal everything to the university? How does this play out? Integrity issues. I'm counseling an AI here, and so there would be some questions concerning that. I'm guessing the idea of the AI's rights, you're moving into new territory here. Every patient that you see has a certain set of rights that they have during the time that you are counseling, and even after you counsel them. Do AIs have this same type of rights, or is something different? This would be something very new. Competence boundaries. I'm a counselor, not a programmer. And so am I competent to deal with an AI that is built through code, or would someone else be more competent for this? And research concerns. And again, that would go along in with the research they're doing, research she's doing. So I'd like to start out with looking at this idea. Let's see what happens when we choose the AI's rights.
If I were to treat my sessions with the AI as real therapy, I'd be concerned about their free will.
And that's a good question.
My patients need the free will to make their own choices. Otherwise, therapy won't help.
So when you've got an AI, more often than not, I say more often than not, with AI, they are programmed to react a certain way. And even AI that is able to kind of adapt, they're still going in with the code that's made, or the code that's in them. And so the question would be, is this based off of any free will, this AI, sentience, any sentience this AI has, or is its reactions all part of the coding? Because Dr. Parter's recognizing this could be all part of a coding error.
Even if I were to assume that this AI has free will, how would I know it would be respected?
If I could guarantee that the AI could make its own decisions, would that be alright?
Yeah. I would say if you could stay true to that, yes. Because the thing is, yes, it may start out making its own decisions, but as time goes on, any number of coders can make tweaks to it. So it would have to stay that way during the counseling process. And it's really weird saying this concerning an AI.
If you can guarantee that the AI's free will would be respected, then yes, it'd be alright.
So you can help me now?
I'm going to go with possibly on this one. Can we choose more and discuss it?
That could be possible in this situation.
Or is this one where I've just shoehorned myself in without looking at some of the other discussions?
Regardless, there are other complicating factors.
Okay, so I still get to go back and look.
What?
Alright, so concerns about doctor-patient confidentiality, that's where I would go next here.
I can consult for you, but I can't treat the AI like I treat a typical patient. If I were to take my therapy sessions with the AI seriously, that would mean treating all of our conversations as confidential. I can't maintain confidentiality and help you fix the AI at the same time.
Bingo! That's exactly what I pointed out a few minutes ago.
What if the AI waived their confidentiality rights?
Which is something that can be done. Confidential can't be waived. That wouldn't work. I need to speak to them first. I'm going to go with the idea that can't be... Again, because we're dealing with a program, so I find this kind of weird. And really and truly, I said that can be done. And what I meant by that, let me go ahead and backtrack real quick, is, again, confidentiality, is something that if the court demands for me to have their transcripts for a court case or something of that nature, I would first, end up contacting the patient and discuss it with them, have them sign a sheet, go along with it, just to point out the idea that, hey, you understand this is what's going on. Even if they don't sign it, it's something I would have to do by law, and I'd have to make a log of patient was contacted at this time, refused to sign, but again, for an AI, that's kind of weird. So let's just... I'm going to try that wouldn't work.
Waiving it wouldn't work in this situation. When confidentiality has to be broken, it's usually to talk to the authorities or the patient's family.
As I pointed out.
I see your point. But could you evaluate the AI first to see if that would be a factor?
Sure.
That could be possible in this situation.
I like how Dr. Park is just very uncomfortable at this moment.
Regardless, there are other complicating factors.
Like what?
Alright, so let's go into the next one. Competency boundaries, research concerns, or integrity issues. I'm going to go with competence boundaries just to see how this goes.
In psychology, there's a concept called boundaries of competence. It means psychologists should stick to what they're good at.
Exactly.
While there are psychologists who work in AI-related fields, none of them work in areas related to therapy. It's an uncharted field of study.
Bingo.
If it's an uncharted field, then there's no protocol, right? No rules to break.
That's a dangerous line of thinking there, little missy.
If I handle the situation as professionally as possible, then sure.
I don't like that response, and that's not what I meant when I was doing that, but okay.
It'd be risky, but it would be permissible.
There's always rules that you have to go abide by, even if it's something brand new. So, I was thinking something different, but anyway.
Does this mean you'll help?
Possibly.
I'm sorry, but this case seems too risky. I'll have to decline.
I like how I picked possibly, and he goes, nope, can't do it.
Look, there's one last thing I need to tell you. I reached out to you for a reason.
Uh-oh.
This project, the AI, it's all being researched at Petrichor University. You went there years ago.
The AI is based off of you.
Yes, decades ago. How do you know that?
As part of the developmental process, we had the AI read through issues of the school's literary magazine. They found some entries you published as a student, and they want to talk to you about them.
Interesting. Okay, so you lied to me again. Why didn't you lead with that? Why would an AI be interested in my poetry? And so I do find it nervous, or I won't say nervous, I do find an issue with Tara here withholding information from us whenever you're dealing with, and I know Tara's not the one we're counseling, but whenever you're dealing with a counselor, patient, when you're dealing with that dynamic, it's built upon trust. If, I would even say if the party responsible for the for the patient is constantly lying, you're already on a shaky foundation, and Tara just seems to continually be opening with that. Why didn't you tell me that in the beginning? That would be a good area to start with that, and it's an open question, so that's a better thing to do. Why would the AI be interested in my poetry? Which gives the idea this is what she was writing, what was in the paper. She wrote poetry. It makes me wonder what type of poetry she was writing. So let's try why didn't you lead with that? To me, that seems like the best way to do it. Yes, she lied. Maybe not necessarily. Well, no, she lied. I'm just going to use the word lied here. She withheld information. Why didn't you lead with that?
Why didn't you tell me that at the start?
Ooh, Dr. Park looks a little angry, upset right now.
I didn't want to scare you, okay?
Okay, don't get defensive with me.
I don't care about what poetry you wrote. I just want to help the AI. Now, will you help them or not?
Woo! Now, will you help them or not? So I could I have to refuse. This is a bad idea. It says, remember your promise. I'll help you. Okay, so this is basically going to throw the objective for the rest of the game here. You know, I'll help you, or I have to refuse this. Alright, I'm assuming I have to refuse, or this is a bad idea. May follow some more dialogue. It's either going to end things here, which I could do that, and we could look at an ending if it comes up here. And then I could just restart this, get back to this point, and we can continue on as if nothing happened. Or I could even choose the other and see what happens. Let's try that. I just want to see what happens when it says I have to refuse. If it ends it right here, or if it shoehorns me back in, that's fine. I can go back and redo all of this. But the fact that these aren't lit up makes me wonder.
I'll help you.
Wait, what? I evidently couldn't pick the others.
Really? After everything you said before?
Yes.
Because I clicked on the other. Tara? Tara, you going to say something?
I have my reasons. When would you want me to speak to the AI?
Ideally, tonight. Night is the only time I have access to the AI.
I'm hoping there's not a third lie here. I'm just really hoping that right now.
Fine. I'll meet you at the university tonight.
Good. I'll send you an email with more information later. I'll see you tonight.
Where was the chair she was sitting on?
Good. I'll send you an email with more information later. I'll see you tonight.
She just yeeted the chair away from her, I guess.
What have I gotten myself into?
Check your email. Prepare to meet the AI patient in Petrichor University. When you're finished, press continue. Now, is this where I can, like, save or something? If I click on Stanley, does it, I don't have anything patient with report planner. Okay, I didn't mean planner. Email. Where's my email? There we go. Thank you again for agreeing to help me. Words alone cannot express my gratitude. I need you to come to Petrichor at 8 p.m. Meet me outside the engineering building. Yeah, of course, because just telling me that explains everything. Where is the engineering building? I have the lab to myself and we can work uninterrupted. I've attached some files related to Willow. Bug reports and crash files mostly. If you don't have the time to go over them, here's the summary. We first noticed problems with Willow. For wrestling fans. Willow! After we started showing them archival footage of patients engaged in art therapy. Willow has the ability to alter and overwrite data that they've observed. It works like how we change our perceptions and memories as we get new information. The system worked fine until these observations. During the sessions, too much data was being processed. Afterwards, both data related to the sessions and other memories along with vital code required for Willow to function properly was being either corrupted or was deleted. We'd done 3 of these sessions and noticed increasingly worse behavior after each one. It was after the 3rd one that Willow began reading through your poetry and asked to see you. Alrighty. my question is, when can I save this? Because I've been looking into saving this, and nothing. How should I click this? This. Nothing? Nothing down here? Okay. So, going here takes me to Petrichor. Like, if I press escape, there's no save file here. So I'm assuming that I have to finish each... No! I'm assuming I've got to finish each chapter. There's like 16 of them before we can move, before I can save. That's all I'm assuming at this point. Let's head to the college. Man, our time's almost up again. Anything?
Hey, hope you didn't have trouble getting here.
Alright, real quick, I'm looking out for butterflies. Butterfly in the sky. Ah! I found one. Ha-ha! I found a butterfly!
Took forever to find parking. Glad to see that hasn't changed.
I gotta say, part of me was worried he wouldn't show up.
I keep my word. The thought crossed my mind. I don't bail on patience. I think I keep my word is the best thing to say here.
Of course I was going to show up, Tara. I keep my word.
Right. And good to know that.
Anything else I should know? There was a lot to go over in your email.
Of course. The AI was designed as an art therapy assistant unit. They'd watch patients make art and then help form a diagnosis.
Okay, so this is a mental health AI.
Bit ironic that the therapy AI may need therapy itself.
Yeah, real hilarious. The lab's this way. Let's get moving.
I hit a checkpoint, but I don't know. I guess it's auto-saving.
Alright, we're here. Will you want to be alone with them when you do your session?
Again, I want to pause for a moment, and I'm going to be looking for a butterfly real quick. It's right up here. Alright, good job. So we have Tara Northrop, Duncan Randall, Brooke Shields, Rajiv Gill, and other stuff that I can't read. Apparently I found another butterfly. I didn't realize there was one right there, but okay, cool. Yes. Thank you, Dr. Park.
One last thing. Their name is Willow.
I like that name. It's very nice.
Best way to go about this right now.
Glad you think so. Good luck in there, Dr. Park.
So what I'm going to do...
Hello? My name is Dr. Melissa Park.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to stop the video right here. Again, as always, drop your comments in the the comment box below. I can't ever get the words out right, apparently. I'll figure out how to save this, and we'll get into the next episode. As always, I appreciate everyone's kind attention. Take care of one another, love one another, God bless you all, and as always, game in good health.